Hi. Hi, everybody. Look, we're back again. Wow, that was a fast day. No, of course not. This is the 100th show, Anthony Cumia Show, Reddit AMA. Ask me anything. I've seen these over the years. Years, months, what? I've seen these. And they're very entertaining. Never took part in one. I think Jimmy Norton did one. Didn't Jimmy do one at some point? Sure. But yeah, we're doing this one today because there's just a clamoring of people. Just Anthony, there's so much I want to know. Maybe not. But and we've opened this stream up to all the what are they? Freeloaders and cheap fucks that won't pay for the goddamn show. You know who you are. Enjoy. Look, we just hang out. We sit here. It's nice. Looks nice. Rats over here. Garrett, you might remember, if you people are tuning in for the first time, you might remember Garrett, Stinky from WNEW. He's working here now, too. He's right over there in the control room, in the control hallway, because it is indeed my house. There it is behind me, my house with the lovely snowfall that we just recently had. So I've done a show already for the day. So this is not even an obligation on my part. This is out of the kindness of the Anthony Cumia Show and staff. Look at that. Garrett's dog is walking around. It's just adorable. Yeah. Well, he had to stay last night because of the blizzard we didn't have. So grab yourself a beverage, whatever you would like. I enjoy a Bud Light. Something, light. And I guess let's get rolling on this, right? Not Roland, rolling, I guess they call it. Rat, if you would put up the questions. We're doing this. We're going to read the questions, which will be up here on the screen. And then Rat will type away because he can type like the devil. Da-da-da-da-da. It's amazing. So he's going to type the answers. And you here that are watching, you don't even have to wait for the typed answer. I'm just going to say that shit right here on these very airwaves. The big, and I guess we're going for questions that are, well, it's Ask Me Anything, but we're going to, focus for the most part. Not all of them. I'll answer anything. Some of these questions that are getting the biggest amount of points, big upvotes for that. So, did you try to get Jimmy to be co-host of your show before he re-signed with Sirius XM? Yes. Yes. Jimmy is an amazing talent. He would have been an absolute coup to get on this program. Didn't work out that way. I would have loved to have him as a co-host. Yes. There you go. First question out of the way. There it is. What are the odds of you three getting back together? I'm sorry, but nothing is as good as O&A and O&J. Nothing. Well, thanks. I'm only on here on a daily basis trying to fucking put this together. You don't have to type that. See, this is the extra bonus footage AMA where you get to hear things that won't be typed. Odds of us getting back together. Let me think about that for a second, Rat, because under the proper circumstances, sure, I'd be for it. As far as the odds go, I have no clue. We're all doing our own thing right now, which can't just be stopped. You could paraphrase me, by the way, because I'll be like, which you can't I can't just pull the plug on this. And I'm sure Opie doing his show with Jimmy doesn't want me to just, or maybe he does. I don't know. Just plop back in that seat again and start doing, the Opie and Anthony show again. So odds, I'm no bookmaker. but it's probably a long bet. What happened there, Rat? Did I fluster you?
I spelled a word wrong.
By the paraphrasing? You could paraphrase. Just don't misquote me. Actually, if you don't misquote me, but you paraphrase me, I could then use it as plausible deniability that I never said it. Got mixed up in the translation, motherfuckers. Let's see. I like that one. Who do you consider the greatest radio host in the world, and why is it Eastside Dave? Dave? Is that you, Dave? No. Yeah. I love Eastside Dave. I don't think anyone even doubts that. I think he's one of the most talented people on radio. Full of energy, anger, and emotion. Something I can relate to. And actually, if he hadn't gotten hired when he did, I was trying to snatch his ass up too for this platform. So, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Tee-hee! You didn't add that part in, huh? I thought that was funny. Was a bridesmaid, never a bride, tee-hee? No, that's okay. You can leave that. Wow, Opie gets so much of the hate on Reddit. I read through it. There's a Reddit thread for Opie and Jimmy's show, and then there's one for my show and stuff, and people can really, really get brutal on it and very personal and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to actually find a question to answer like that. And would you ever get together on another medium for the show? That's kind of what I said. Our relationship right now is it's in a very weird place. We had done radio together for 20 years, and that was pretty much, aside from vacation and shit like that, and our firings, a daily little get together with the two of us. Over the years, we had grown into two remarkably different people, and I think things that each other did that annoyed each other became a lot more pronounced. We didn't get into any huge arguments aside from the two, I think, that were on air. But I don't know. Let me think. As time went on, like any relationship, it just became tougher, and we weren't as close as we were at the beginning. Once I got fired, I think we both just decided, let's spend some time away. Even through the firings, we would talk, text, email, have meetings, things like that. With this circumstance, I knew I was out of that picture, and we just really didn't talk. We've had a couple of text conversations, really, but I think also the stress and strain of having to change the show on his side and come up with a show on my side really left little time to wax fantastic about the olden days of radio and what we had accomplished and everything. So I don't know. I would say the relationship is fine, but there's we haven't really spoken about it. So, I'll leave it at that. That a long answer? It's pretty long, right?
My fingers don't hurt at all. Keep going. Keep talking.
There you go.
It's a good thing we don't close caption the show.
Yeah, right? Somebody you'd have to do that. Butt plug. Let's see. That what do you think of all the hate Opie's getting on? Again, if someone wants to, you can talk about that, all the hate, because we were just talking about that. What do you think all the hate Opie's getting on the Opie and Anthony subreddit? He was put in a remarkably awful position. As was I, as was Jimmy, and the entire staff. I was fired from SiriusXM for what I see as no fucking reason at all. I had spoken outrageously, if that's even what you want to call it, for years, exactly like I had on Twitter when I got into that altercation in Times Square. And this wasn't anything new. This wasn't somebody that they didn't want on the air. I'd been there for 10 years with that organization. So it put everyone in a very weird position. They throw me out. Now, Opie had two choices: to bail and tell them to go fuck themselves, or stay on and do a show without me. He chose the latter of the two with Jimmy. And that's now what people have to listen to that we're used to hearing the three of us. Some people do not like it. And some people don't like all of the circumstances of the firing, and they feel a disloyalty to the group, to the show for not telling SiriusXM to go fuck themselves. So I think a lot of that anger comes from that. It's you're continuing after this corporation busts up the show, and I think a lot of people got mad at that. I've pondered it many times in my head, going back and forth from I'm human, going back and forth from being pissed to saying, how else was it going to end? Or, what was I going to figure out to do later after the Ona Show? So, yeah, I've gone back and forth. I've had thoughts also that, I thought Opie and Jimmy should have walked. If they wanted to get me back, the best way to do that would have been to tell them to go fuck themselves. We're not coming on until the three of us come back on. So I've gone from that to, back and forth to, this is good. Fuck it. I'm doing a show now myself. This is kind of cool. Who am I to tell them what they should do to make money to live their life, kind of a thing? So I felt kind of like an idiot even thinking that. But the truth of the matter is, I think the real way I feel is a mixture of all the above, depending on any given day. I'm not happy about being fired. I'm not happy that the show I was with for 20 years and with at SiriusXM for 10 years was so easily dismantled. I thought it would be a lot more trouble. I think a lot of the hate comes from people on the outside looking in and judging the situation like that. So, people get pissed. What am I going to do? They get pissed at me too. I read some really horrible stuff about myself. I actually try to answer it sometimes, and sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. I dig myself deeper in a hole. But it's part of the deal you make with Satan when you say, "Can I please not work anymore and do a radio show?" So, very important question: did you ever wear mommy's shoes? I don't know where this came from. It came up on the Ona Show. It was a day, I guess, it was a slow news day. Someone was speculating or saying I wore mom's shoes and just kept saying it enough. And the fucked up thing about radio and doing a radio show with a bunch of smart ass guys that could just, pound at you like that. The lie becomes the truth. You say it enough times, people hear it enough times coming out of a little machine, and it becomes the truth. We've seen it with me wearing mommy's shoes, and on the other end of the spectrum is things like hands up, don't shoot. It's and everything in between. So But I will say now and for the record, I never wore mommy's shoes. Thank you. Let's take a look. Yes, when will you get a co-host? This has been a question that's come up many times during the 100 episodes of the Anthony Cumia Show. Easier said than done is the easiest way to explain this. It is nearly impossible to find somebody that you could sit next to on a daily basis and discuss the minutia of the day. Just, discuss everything from a major news event to your fucking laundry and make it fun, interesting, make it fun and interesting for not just the audience, but for the person you're fucking hanging out with. It's every day you're there talking with this person. There has to be some commonality between you, but there has to be a lot of differences. It's not an easy formula to just throw together. I've had great guests on this show. Nick DiPaolo comes to mind as a great guest that I love sitting next to and discussing the day's events. Colin Quinn is always gold on this show. Jimmy Norton is fantastic. And also somebody like, trying to think of some of the other guys. Who? Oh, yeah, Stuttering John was fucking great. We got so many people saying, dude, this ought to be your co-host and everything. It's very hard to tell from one show. Very hard to tell from one show what your chemistry will be. And if a month, 2 months, a year later, you're going to be able to sit there and still smile and actually have fun discussing the big things and the little things on a daily basis. I am not opposed to a co-host. Has to be the right person. I enjoy doing the solo thing. I know some people prefer having a co-host here with me to me being alone. And, that's totally reasonable. I get that. But until I find somebody that I think would work out for the long term, we'll have great guests in that pull it off for a day, 2 days a week. I love chit-chatting with Keith the Cop and Rat and Garrett. It's kind of fun. So it's like only 100 shows. 100 shows is a benchmark, but it's only 100 shows. It's still a very growing item here, this program. I'm very happy with where it is, with how quickly it got where it is. And if a co-host is in the cards in the future, so be it. You may rest your digits, Rat. Wow, that was a long one, huh? Do people answer long like this during
Probably
these?
not this long,
Really?
but also they're not usually saying it out loud.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe. I don't know. When some of these big stars do the AMAs, I don't think they're sitting there hunting and pecking each key. I'm sure there's a secretary there. Yeah. Is it true you once fell down the stairs and tripped over your own penis? Is that what it says?
Yes.
Better be. No. I've gotten quite the reputation over the years as far as my dick goes. It's a double-edged sword. Not my dick, the reputation. While I am greatly proud of what the good Lord has given me as far as reproductive organs go, the myth has led to embarrassing, disappointed looks on some girls' faces that thought they were getting the white whale. Thank you.
I just know everything's gonna be wrong. You're wrong. Disappointed.
I know. Jesus Christ, son of a bitch. How does it feel to me? Oh, 15. See, this is something they hate, man. They're so mean. They are so mean. Dad, why does mom get to keep the house and baby Jimmy? Oh, it did seem like a little divorce. How is the situation with Patrice benefit next month? Is there any chance to make an appearance? I'll answer that. There is a Patrice benefit, which has gone on every year since his demise. This year, in February, there is another. I have not been invited, but I don't know if that's a snub or politics or a personal problem. I have been instructed by Keith the cop on many occasions to give Bill Burr a call. I am scared. I love Bill. Bill has given us some of the best radio ever over the years. He's a very talented comic. He's very fucking funny and quick-witted. He's shown himself to be a good actor also. But there's something about him that frightens me. And I think he's mad at me. I don't even know. I think he's mad at me for what happened that brought my firing, or what he heard second and third hand about what happened that brought about my firing. Regardless of which one these are, I'm scared. Yeah, but I have to pick up the phone and talk to Bill Burr at some point, I think. I don't even know. Why do I have to? Keith! He's not here. So maybe it'll be one of those last minute, I'll slide in through the door right before they close it. But as of right now, I do not have an invitation to the Patrice ONeal benefit. There you go. Let's see. Favorite season of Seinfeld. That's interesting. I like the early ones, not the first season. They're a little too not them yet. Oh, sorry. I like the early seasons, but not the first one, although it had some great episodes. I guess 2, 3, 4. Yeah. There's some really good. I mean, it's just an all-around amazing fucking show. Every season has episodes that are so classic. You can't talk about Seinfeld without mentioning those episodes. But the earlier ones, when they had gotten their personalities and really started to use them, was just amazing episodes. Yeah. And someone writes, he celebrates their entire catalog. That's great. What's that? Another text? You want to text it out that we're doing this?
Well, I have an outside life too.
Oh, I thought you not during the show. You don't, rat. No, that's okay. You can now purchase mugs at opieradio.com, as you can at anthonycumia.com. There you go.
Spend $50, get a free shot glass.
Right. If you buy $50 worth of merch, on the site, you get a free shot glass. And God knows when we're playing the various drinking games that we play down here and out on the TV watching the State of the Union address, oh boy, you're going to want that shot glass. That's a good question. Wait, hold on. Contact. All right. Yeah, ex-producers. That's so weird. That just reminded me. I had a dream that Rick Delgado was in. He was sitting at a table, talking to Opie, and I walked up to the table and was like, "Hey, Rick." I don't see that ever happening in real life. Maybe in dreamy life. I've kept in touch with a couple of people. Not many. Radio is a lot like every other job. When you're working there, you're with people every day, and you're friendly, and you hang out. You do fun stuff, especially in radio. And then once you don't have that job anymore, you really just move on. I barely said 8 words to Garrett in the 15 years we didn't work together. But then he comes down here and it's like, hey, let's have a beer. Let's fucking talk and hang out. It's human interaction and relationships are a very funny thing. You will just blow someone off for a while. You got your own life to live. What are you going to do? There have been other people that have died, like poor Steve C., who I thought was very funny. I liked Steve a lot. Rick, I didn't really have any issues with. He kind of fell out of sorts. I think that was a kind of a relationship thing, too. Being Opie's ex's brother makes it a little awkward. I wouldn't want my ex-wife's brother trotting around the fucking my workplace. That's for sure. Ben Sparks is certifiably insane. I was always very entertained by his crazy banter. I know he still talks to like my brother and Keith. Hears from him every so often. So, he's a wacky guy, him and Psycho Mark. I really don't have any issues with anybody. It sounds weird. But I guess I was much more at odds with management all the time and not who we were working with. Like, I could not fucking stand having to deal with Steve Blatter at SiriusXM. That's someone I absolutely had a problem with. And not so much on a personal level. I just don't think he appreciated what we were doing on that show. And it sounds funny for a goofy show to say that. But, there was some thought that went into it, believe it or not. And I just never felt respected by him and felt like I was supposed to give him the utmost respect. So, yeah. And that wasn't really going to happen. So, but everybody I worked with, I don't know. I really honestly think, and this is, I think you could talk to anyone for the most part that I've worked with. And I don't think they'd say bad things about me, and I have nothing bad to say about them. Danny Ross aside. Thank you. I like that. The weirdest conspiracy theory you've ever read as far as O&A goes. That's pretty good. I like that question. It might take a little thought, though. So let me put on my thinking cap. Okay.
It's your drinking cap.
Conspiracy. My drinking cap. There'd been
what
a
would Jesse
couple.
Ventura say?
Well, obviously, it's the idea that the HAARP system brought about the demise. You can say what you want about the blizzard, but it's the HAARP system at work. Don't let you thank you for your service.
Well, look. Conspiracy that I think that I think the firing was planned. The AAF firing was planned so we can go to New York City and do radio. I think that was a conspiracy that blew up. But me and Opie both kind of pushed that one. It was kind of a bigger than life, like a crime drama thing. Like we committed some crime and got away with it. So it sounded good. It made a great story. We weren't sorry it happened. We did, in fact, say the mayor was dead, and we did, in fact, get fired. So it wasn't that far out of the realm of reality. But, yeah, we kind of had that one burning for a while. And then, God, I'm trying to really think. A conspiracy, like, oh, did you know that Anthony did this? Or, yeah, I might have to revisit that. Sorry, I thought I had something there. It's a great question. Now go fuck yourself. Oh, are we reviewing Mr. Rat?
Just making sure that nothing else went up to the top while we were answering.
Let me see. It's the worst. Go a little slower. Oh, we went through that. Sorry. There it is. Are you and Danny Ross on good terms again? I don't know. I think I explained enough of that. Favorite, let me see. Do you plan to create a Corolla-like podcast network? And if so, do you ever envision it being free rather than sub-based? I absolutely want to make a network out of this, a kind of live from the compound network. We've approached and are in discussions with certain personalities regarding this venture. Oh my God, I'm amazing with my legal jargon after dealing with so many assholes in my life. Let me think. As far as the subscription-based thing goes, it's I would love to be able to just put a free show out there. I'm going to tell you why I can't, and Adam Carolla and a lot of other people can. I don't need a sponsor holding over my head what I said or want to say. I never want to second guess what's going to fucking come out of my mouth when discussing race or sexuality or women's rights or any other subject that these days will get you thrown in PC jail. Sponsors are like parents for your show. If they get mad at you, they can hurt you. I just never want that. Knowing that it's subscription-based, I know that whoever's watching wants to watch. They know what to expect. And I'm not being blackmailed to watch what I'm saying. I don't know. I wish I could have said that better.
Well, that being said,
blackmailed. Yeah,
we do have a lot of free options for people who do like listening to the show but aren't yet subscribed.
Yeah,
we have a podcast. So if you search the Best of the Anthony Cumia Show, we do about an hour every week that Garrett so wonderfully puts together. We put a bunch of stuff up on YouTube if anything's exceptionally funny or interesting, unique.
Exactly. There. Meh. Also, a tag on to this also, Mr. Rat, that I will keep the price very low and try to add shows and material that I think is exactly what the subscribers are asking for. So, quid pro quo, motherfucker. thought on self-heating soups and beverages. Jimmy loves those. He tweets pictures of himself with his self-heating soups. It seems dangerous. I don't know what I'm more scared of, self-heating soup cans or Bill Burr. It's a scary thing. What do they heat with?
You twist it or something.
It's a chemical reaction, isn't it?
Horrible.
It's some kind of chemical reaction. Who needs that?
The last picture I saw, he had 2 up to his face, and I really thought he was being sponsored by them now.
I know. It did look like that. I'm waiting for them to explode and injure him. It's heat in a can.
We used to have to, at Jew camp, we used to have to eat those because they were kosher. Oh. And if we were going to a place where there was no kosher facilities... And boy, were they awful.
Are they terrible? It's like food, right? In there, it's not just coffee or beverages.
It's all the excitement of a great meal with none of the flavor.
Really?
How does it heat up?
Oh boy. You some of them you put in a little bit of water and they
leave it to a Jew to like a food that doesn't need an oven, because that's where it really gets a little dicey.
Can we pass over this comment?
Oh, that was pretty good. All right, let's continue, as they say. Oh, that's actually a legitimate question on the up one. What has your experience been like doing your own show from the compound? What are some of the unforeseen challenges you have faced? Rewarding ways that you would not have anticipated prior to undertaking. That is meeting rat. I never wrote that. Never said it. I was petrified to do this. I wouldn't have started this on my own if I still had a job at SiriusXM. That's the bottom line. I was making a very good paycheck. I was building this studio and using it every so often as a hobby. I love broadcasting. I love technology. And it was just fun to do. Fire up the camera and do some drunk karaoke, shit like that. I never had the confidence to think that I could do this as a job and make a success of it. And that's still to be seen. But I couldn't be happier with the way it's going and the way it's progressed over only 100 shows. I was fired July 4th. By the beginning of August, we were up and running, which is an astounding undertaking just to logistically get everything running. I had the studio. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but knew nothing of how to get it out to the fans, how to, monetize it, because, it wasn't just a hobby anymore, and how to get the right people in place to make it work, people I could trust to be in my house on a daily basis. This is my fucking home. And the way it's progressed over 100 shows, I couldn't have pictured it, couldn't have imagined it. Very excited for what the future is going to bring. A lot of great ideas, and I can't wait for spring to get back out by the pool and start doing some shows from out there. A lot more location shows like we did at Mohegan Sun. I mean, within the first 100 shows, we did a remote from a casino with fans, and it went off without a hitch, and it was easy to put together. There's the one hitch. And the hitch. That the guy won and he wasn't a fan? No. It was I couldn't have asked for more, and it was something we could never get together at SiriusXM anymore. There was nothing but roadblocks to us doing anything as a show with that management in place over there. So I was incredibly happy we were able to do that so quickly, and a lot more of that is coming. I mean, I'm very excited about this. It's a let's try new things, and let's have fun doing this kind of a show, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. I never. I was Steve C. You could go back to the Steve C. one. And you never bring up Steve C. We talk about him all the time. I don't bring up his suicide. I don't know how personal an issue that is. I don't think it's a secret. But what are you going to say? It's tragic. The guy was so much fun, very talented, and you just again, so many people that are close to people that take their own lives just don't see it coming, and that's what happened. Just tragic. Steve was fantastic, a really good friend, and I've known him for so long that it was terrible to hear, and he's missed. He really is. There, addressed. Fucker. Yeah. Well, what do you want to do?
I want the answer to that one.
In pounds, what's the fattest girl you ever made coitus with? Pounds, huh? I'm trying to know. It wasn't a Lady Di, you fucking prick. Let me think here. There was one girl that was... I've never been into, like, chubby girls, I guess. So there haven't been many. Everyone knows Anthony likes skinny white trash. So maybe 160 pounds, but not very tall. So kind of showed. Yeah. After your tirade, did at any point you feel bad for your behavior potentially have a profound negative impact on Sam, Iraq, Roland, etc., to a lesser extent Jim and Opie, since they were more well off? Yes, absolutely. If there's one regret in this whole thing, it was that I interrupted so many people's fucking lives with this whole thing. But there is a but. People know the business they're in, and people know the show that they were anchored to, and you got to expect the worst sometimes. This is a program that had been fired on a couple of occasions, suspended on other occasions, had staff summarily thrown out the door on other occasions. It's not exactly the most secure living that someone could attach themselves to. But I did feel bad for the staff, especially when I was unsure as to whether Jimmy and Opie were still going to have a show and whether anybody there was going to be a part of that staff. So, I was definitely not happy about that part of the whole thing because there was really little I could do about that. Yeah. Let's see what else you got. We noticed a big change in audience since many people have you discovered since through YouTube. I don't know. Who's funnier? What happened to Danny? Danny, you know what? Answer that because so many people ask, especially that. What happened to Danny? Danny Ross was a friend that I would have called one of my best friends. I have no idea what happened. As you heard on the show many times, Danny was a colorful person with a vibrant, volatile personality. He got himself in a lot of jams with people at the show and at the company. I would always defend him because he was a really good friend of mine. Then I guess I turned into an asshole. I don't know why, but that was it. And in the words of David St. Hubbins of Spinal Tap, no, we shan't work together again. That's good enough. There you go. Look at What is your everyday carry weapon? I love my H&K P2000 SK space .40 cal. 40. There you go. There you go. That's my little carry gun. Every ding dong day. How could you neglect Joe DeRosa's fragile feelings? Another person I considered a friend, but unlike Danny Ross, I know what happened with Joe DeRosa. Yeah. Joe's an asshole. Joe has this notion that people will give a shit about him or who he fucking hangs out with in the showbiz world. So he got angry with me and what I said on Twitter about the Times Square episode and my firing. And instead of addressing me and asking me about it and my intentions and my opinions or whatever, he just thought he'd spout off on other people and other people's shows, and really, put me in a bad light. The final straw was, when he said, what am I supposed to tell my black friends if I'm friends with him? And that, to me, is the dumbest, most hypocritical, most racist thing I've ever heard. So, and I listen to my own fucking mouth. So in the words of David St. Hubbins of Spinal Tap, we shan't work together again. What are we looking at? 8? Yeah, we'll go like 10 more minutes. That'll be good. I got it. What are your when you have New York City studio set up, you're planning expanding. Oh, I should say this because people are actually listening. When you have a New York City studio set up, are you planning on expanding by adding new talent or starting an HD video podcast network? We're working on a New York City facility. It's become imperative that we have a presence in the city for interviews and live shows, things like that. So we're working on it. And obviously that would add new talent to the potential guests and perhaps even shows on our platform. Very excited. What are your honest thoughts on Sam Roberts? That's good. Sam Roberts. Everyone's waiting. No, I like Sam a lot. I really do. I like Sam. I think he's very talented. He's brash. He's very motivated too. Very motivated. Perceptive is another word I would use. He's able to take things he sees and turn it into on-air material. And that's pretty much the name of the game. That is radio. I think he'll do very well. He's likable. Not so much to Reddit, but he is likable to people, yet he's abrasive enough. People that can get away with saying some really nasty things because they're just somehow likable people go very far. I've seen some of the most horrible things I've ever heard come out of Louis C.K.'s mouth. And he is one of the most adored comedians in the country. He's very funny. People love him. He's never getting called out on un-PC things that he says, nor should he ever be. But it's that type of personality that really makes you go far in the entertainment business, especially comedy and radio. So,
did you just compare Sam to Louis C.K.?
I hope people don't make that assumption. I was pointing out, where is the wiffle bat? I don't know. We used to put this inside girls' vaginas and see which girl could take it the furthest by marking it with a Sharpie and then putting it back in its luxurious glass case until the next girl came in, maybe a month later, and then we would try it on her. I don't know what happened to it, but it should have gone into a red biohazard bag and been taken to a hospital landfill. Pecketh, would you consider having Spaz on the show? That ship has sailed. Spaz was very funny during the NEW days. He was such a goofy character. One frightening aspect about Spaz, he used to do a week in review, and he would take news stories and comment on them. And we would laugh our asses off because they were ludicrous stories about like robot doctors and the dangers of robot doctors and how to get rid of encephalitis mosquitoes and how to use absorbent on hurricanes to dry them up before they destroy places, and microwave ovens for tornadoes. He'd come up with these wacky ideas. I swear I've read all these things within the past couple of years. Everything this nut came up with is coming to fruition. I don't know. A savant. He became a cop. That's all I know. He became a police officer. They allowed him a gun. Enough said. Would you be a guest on Stern if you were invited? Fuck yeah. In a second. That's some publicity. I don't have a problem with Howard Stern. I think Howard is an amazing guy. He made radio. He changed radio. He made a show that became the benchmark for that kind of anti-Zoo Crew radio. And he entertained a lot of fucking people with it for a lot of fucking years. As far as our battles we had with him with the Ona Show, he that's how you dealt with Howard Stern, because if you took any other tack with him, you would get destroyed by him. So you had to fight back really hard and dirty, and it made for interesting radio, and it made for interesting arguments with management when we were working for the same company, and feelings were hurt. But as far as like having a personal issue with Howard, no, never. I would see the whole show in the halls of SiriusXM or out on the streets, and couldn't be nicer. Fred and Robin have always been great. Gary was always very nice in the hallways and everything. I got no problem with that show. And yeah, I'd be a guest in a second. What's happening there, Rat? Little corrections going on. Managed to try. No, I haven't done that. Half-Life on the Oculus would be cool. It's one of my favorite games. Congrats on... oh, wow, that's kind of a cool question. Congrats on number 100. What's been your favorite moment/show so far? There's been so many over these many hours. Dice, when Dice was here, that really made me feel like this has a shot. Technically, we absolutely weren't where we are at even now. We had mic problems, camera problems, but to sit at that outside table with the pool, a couple of girls serving drinks, and Dice and his whole family in my yard, it was like, wow, I think this is pretty fucking cool. This could work. That was followed by karaoke until about midnight, which didn't even go on the air. It was just Dice and his kids and, me and my family and everyone hanging out in my basement on the karaoke stage. So that was kind of a cool moment for the show right there. Colin Quinn spilling his Diet Coke, a close number 2. All those videos that were made about Colin spilling his soda were fucking great. And what was that one? What are you looking at? Which one? Oh, you went from living in your car to living in a mansion. If you'd never become a radio host, do you think you'd be dead by now? Wow. Now, probably not. But I'd be way in debt. And miserable. I would hope I would have had the sense enough to divorce my cunt wife. You could write that word, can't you, Rat? It's not against your religion or nothing. That shiksa. Yeah, I would have hoped for that. But probably not. I'd have... you could have found... if you have a time machine and can change the course of history, you can find me at the off-Broadway pub in Greenlawn, downing a beer, then throwing the bottle at my wife. Yeah, there you go. Any chance, opportunity, Jimmy, is your... Well, yeah, we talked about that. Consider doing something with Artie Lange. I fucking love Artie Lange. I think Artie's funny as fuck. Even when he was destroying me and Opie on Howard's show one day, we were in the office and turned on Howard's show during a commercial break of our show because we heard that they were goofing on us. And Artie was going off. I don't even remember what it was, but I couldn't fucking stop laughing. It was hilarious. It was kind of I think it was an Opie and Anthony bit where he replaced like Opie or Anthony with other characters and stuff. It was brilliant and very funny. And I think he's very talented. I'm not one to talk about somebody's psychological condition. I know he's had his issues. Who hasn't? But I would love to do something with Artie, whether it's just him being a guest on my show, being a guest on his new show, or in the future, some type of collaboration between shows. Yeah, open and welcome. Manhattan, we talked about that. Do you believe? You guys, I start reading the beginning of it and I'm like, you guys are just the worst motherfuckers. I really am surprised sometimes at how grim people can get. It's so bad. Anything else? Are we almost? I guess we're pretty much done. Maybe one more. If you could find one pertinent to the... Oh, God. That was pretty good. I want to have Colin Quinn on more. You don't have to... Yeah, okay. It's just basic answers to that. And Ronnie B, of course, is a genius. And I love Ron Bennington. He's one of the only people that to sit there and talk to him as another radio guy. The most seasoned radio veteran is intimidated by Ronnie. It's that would have been the getting Ronnie B on the show one, not the blowing off Colin Quinn as a piece of shit. And yeah, he's the best in the business. And I was saying, Rat, before I was rudely interrupted, that even if a seasoned veteran radio guy is intimidated sitting at a console with him, he's that good. And yeah, I would love to work with Ronnie, but that's like, some fucking guy in Little League saying, yeah, I'd like to throw the ball around with Jeter. Well, you probably could now. He's got a lot of free time. Let's see. Top 10 comedians. What the fuck you want me to go list that? Get out of here. First time. Just reading through some of these. How many ice cubes can you fit in your asshole? I won't be answering that one, Rat. 6? Really? That's good. A whole tray. With the tray. Do you think what sticks out most cringe or self-inducing moment? Oh, wow. That's a good one. And it's right at the bottom. What is the one thing that sticks out as the most cringe, horror, self-hate inducing moment on the O&A show? Oh, there's a couple. Early on at AAF, anything I said. So hard to listen to now because I was so happy to be there and just be doing anything but construction work that I would blurt out. I'd laugh too much. I'd blurt out like anything just to be on the air and talk. And it was very embarrassing to listen back to. As far as modern day stuff, when I would heat up, I would feel myself. I'd be with a guest and talking, and I'd just feel my face start to heat up because I was so embarrassed about what was going on. There was when I fell asleep on the air was really embarrassing. I think at the time I was hungover. I was at XM and just fucking crapped out. Fell asleep on the show. Just fell asleep. They put the mic under my nose and left the studio. And I was just sitting there asleep. Very, very embarrassing. Things I had to... I'm trying to think of things I had to do, like an appearance or something that might have been very embarrassing. Those were AAF days also. Like having to strap on padding so you could go to a golf course and people could drive golf balls at you. That was a little embarrassing. The bra bombing. The bra bombing at AF when we said we were dropping bras full of water balloons on an enemy station. Oh, I can't even say it now. It's so embarrassing. But you gotta get here from there. So I'm sure in the next 100 shows there will be plenty of embarrassing moments that I can talk about on the next AMA. I'm guessing. I hope everybody enjoyed this little bonus. You're watching this for free. I'm not forgetting that. You owe me now. It's easy to subscribe. Go to anthonycumia.com. It's $7 a month. It's nothing. And you get 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, and then extra special programming like this, events, contests, all kinds of things. We're doing the most offensive song contest. Did you know that? Did you know we're actually doing a most offensive song contest? For the people that are watching for free, the freeloaders, we did that at NEW. We're doing it here, again, uncensored. And some of the songs coming in pretty goddamn bad. And that's sponsored by HydromaxBathmate.com. Go to hydromaxbathmate.com and make your dick bigger. I'm not kidding. hydromaxbathmate.com. Use the code CUMIA and get yourself get your dick bigger. You'll get a lanyard because you gotta wash your hair while you're using it. It sticks on your dick with water vacuum seal. You are gonna love this. Just go to hydromaxbathmate.com and see what it's all about. They're sponsoring the Most Offensive Song Contest. So get your entries in. Send them to
info@anthonycumia.com.
Thank you, Garrett. People heard Garrett. That's stinky. He's going to go smoke a joint now.
Red Eye this Thursday.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. We will see you tomorrow. You people that subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time right here. I don't know who's going to be on tomorrow. Anybody? Do we have any?
Josh Wolf.
Who? Oh, yeah. Okay. Josh is going to be on. And then I think Thursday we have
Mike Bichetti.
Mike Bichetti's coming in. He's always a treat to have on.
And then you're on Red Eye that night.
And I'm on Red Eye Thursday night.
Joe Walsh on Monday.
Joe Walsh on Monday. He's not the guy from the Eagles. Not that one. It's Walsh Freedom, at Walsh Freedom on Twitter. A former congressman and a like thinker like me. I like that. Like. All right, Rat, take us out. We'll see you tomorrow.